Hello, and a hearty good evening to everybody out there in Southern Gospel Forward Land.
Hi.
Howdy, welcome back.
Or if you're brand new from NQC, welcome.
Hi. That would be an awesome theme park. Could somebody fund us so we could have Southern Gospel Forward Land? Forward Land. Awesome. Y'all, we are glad to see you. It's been about 3 weeks since we've seen you guys, and y'all have seen us, and we have experienced the National Quartet Convention, had a blast, had a ball, met so many of you, and it was such a blessing to see so many of our supporters, wonderful faces in person, to get to meet you, hug your neck, shake your hand. It was awesome, wasn't it, guys?
It was. Everyone knows how tall I am now.
Yeah, I'm right there with you, buddy. Me and you are.
It was cool for us to actually meet each other in person too, because we hadn't done that up until then. I met a few of you, but not all of you.
Yeah, brother.
So many people look up to me. You know, it's just amazing. Okay.
Yes, I will always look up to you, Riley, for sure, because I'm through rowing for sure. I think I shrink from here on. But anyway, let's go ahead and move on, and we will get the business out of the way. I was talking to the crew. I'm a little out of shape and a little out of sorts, but I think I can get through all this. But we have got some sponsors and some supporters that we would like to recognize. So we'll go ahead and kick off with that. You know, this is our most consistent business sponsor that we have had. The Heaven Bound Trio has been a blessing to us. Larry Jones and his wife and his group, and you know, we got to meet them at NQC face to face finally, and that was a blessing. But they have been so sweet and wonderful to us, and we appreciate them. They did a wonderful job at the showcase when they sang and just knocked it out of the park. Just a wonderful trio. Would you please go to www.heavenboundtrio.com, look them up, check their schedule out, buy their music, and tell them that you appreciate them supporting Southern Gospel Forward. Champion Brothers bringing it back to Fayette Civic Center once again, November 9th, 2024, 6 p.m. Got the Dixie Echoes coming in. Got the Shell Nut crew and the boys coming in. And faithful friends and chosen witness will also join them. Free admission to get in the door. You have to pay to leave, though. No, I'm just kidding. They will be taking a love offering that night. If you need more information, call 205-664-3803. And then this one is a sponsor we're going to have for several weeks, and we are appreciative of Logan Taylor and Logan Taylor Photography. He did a wonderful job. You know, his source material, when you look at me and some, maybe one or two of the other ones, was rough to work with. But y'all, he took our photos in the middle of just a messy. This photo you see. I mean, it's nasty. It's raining. We were under the catwalk at the LeConte Center. Look at that. I mean, just such a boring. No, it's excellent. So y'all look him up. Logan Taylor Photography. Look him up. He does a wonderful job with headshots, photo sessions, artwork. Just look him up, and we appreciate him so much for working with us. And another sponsor that's new had a donation given in honor of Hope's Choice of Alabama. They are located in Fayette, Alabama. I didn't say that right. They're in Fayette. I pronounced it correctly instead of doing the Fayette. But they are in Fayette, Alabama. A wonderful, wonderful ministry to women expecting and helping them and making the right decisions and the godly decisions, and as they are welcoming in their newborn, gives them assistance to these young families and single mothers, and just a wonderful, wonderful resource in our West Alabama area. And they do reach out broad too. Now, if you'll go to hopeschoiceofalabama.com, you can find contact information, and they will come and speak to your small group about how you can partner with and help this wonderful ministry. And we appreciate them so much. Hi, we got a night of worship. Hillcrest presents. Look at this lineup, y'all. This is the next generation in gospel music. This sounds like something we could sink our teeth into.
Mm-hmm.
You see Josh and Ashley Franks. Now, they might not be the next generation, but they got Priscilla singing with them, who definitely is. You've got Peach Goldman that's going to be there. You've got Jeff Tolbert and Primitive Road. You know, we had a member on here, Elisha Moore, was with us. And then we go down to Sound Street with J. Lee Vanderslice and the Promised Land Quartet with the gentleman that's in the bottom corner over here.
Who?
I'm not in Promised Land Quartet.
I said gentleman. Anyway, so yes, this is going to be an awesome event at Hillcrest Baptist Church. And boy, I need my glasses. I think that says 621 Hartsville Pike in Lebanon, Tennessee. Look that up. Love offering will be received. No admission charge to get in. Y'all go support that. If you love young folks in Southern gospel music, that's the night for you to go visit. And this is a sponsor again that we're going to have for a few weeks. We appreciate Galleon Manufacturing. They are out of Sweetwater, Tennessee. And this is a family-owned and operated business. They started up way back in 1984. Goodness, way back in 1984. I'm older than that. But anyway, started by Buddy and Marcy Gallion, started a small shop and storefront building, and have grown to serve the Sweetwater, Tennessee area with fabrication jobs and machine shop jobs. If you will look them up, Gallion Machine Shop, they will do you a good job if you're looking for that kind of service, and they appreciate and support, they say, Southern Gospel Forward, and we love and appreciate them too for this sponsorship. We appreciate it greatly. Brother Jason, was that the last one? What I'm not going to forget tonight is the individual sponsors. Give me a cookie. All right, so we've got some individual sponsors tonight that, and look, these are also faithful, continual sponsors of Southern Gospel Forward. We have Daniel Garrett, Kyle Goodson, Daniel Hayes, and Andrew Potts. And we appreciate them so much for being consistently giving to Southern Gospel Forward and supporting us. And we met some of them at NQC and had a ball with them. Thank you so much. And y'all, we thank our sponsors. Y'all mean the world to us. A lot of folks visited with us at Southern Gospel Forward table, and while we were walking around at NQC, and the question I got asked several times was, how can we help support these sponsorships? Look, you're not going to find any place, I don't think, that has the low-cost sponsorships that we're doing on these things. I mean, $25 for a business sponsorship. And of course, we want it to be a business that lines up with our mission and our beliefs, of course, but $25 for a business sponsorship episode, $10 for individual. So if you would like to support us, that is one of the best ways that you can do. Another way you can support us is by sharing. If you're watching on Facebook right now, if you would share this to your friend list, that would be huge. Like the SBM Studios page that you're watching on. YouTube, we need to grow our YouTube subscriptions still, and we would appreciate it. It doesn't cost a penny, not even a half a penny, to click that subscribe and notify button on YouTube. We need you to go to youtube.com, look up SBM Studios. That's where you find Southern Gospel Forward Broadcast, and go ahead and subscribe, and that would help us out greatly. All right, so we appreciate you. Hey, how about we quit doing the commercials and we bring on our friend that we've got for episode 2 of season 2?
Yeah.
Sound like a plan?
Let's go. Sounds good to me.
Or should we just keep waiting? No, we won't. Y'all put your hands together wherever you're at in your living room and welcome Cody Shaneyfelt of the Chuck Wagon Gang.
And the Shaneyfelt family and Newground.
Yeah.
You got to get all the box checked there.
The man from 1,000 groups. Absolutely.
You never know where I'm going to pop up at.
I tell you, brother, it was a pleasure getting to meet you this past week or last week at the National Quartet Convention. It was a pleasure. And you are a blessing to get to know. And I've been looking forward to this ever since we planned it, but especially since getting to meet you in person. I thank you for sharing your night with us.
Oh yeah, it was great. And I think that other than the Chuck Wagon gang table where we were stationed at different times, I think the two other places that I was the most at was probably the concession stand line and the Southern Gospel Forward booth.
Yeah, you might have been hanging out just a few times.
See there.
Look at there. This is what you call some young folks just sitting around a picking and a grinning. And Avery was multitasking and writing some cards out while she was singing too. But I do have video of that. But,
we were doing all the Chucky stuff right there. We had Sister Garen singing the alto, or she's singing soprano, I know. And soprano, and Avery was singing alto, and I don't know, I was doing something. And Nick was singing
I think me and you were just flipping.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
you were filling the role of Josh Gardner.
I was?
Who's Josh Gardner?
Oh. No, I don't think anybody can fill the role as Josh.
I was just tossing you a softball in case you wanted to hit that out. So,
Man. I may take a swing at it later. I got to get my game built up a little bit.
I hear you. Well, look, Cody, we always start this kind of a cold call thing. A lot of folks know you who's watching, but some folks who are watching may be the first time that they have come across Cody Shaneyfelt. And why don't you take just a moment, like you just are a stranger to them, and just tell a little bit about yourself, how you got started, anything you would like for them to know about what got you here today.
Interestingly enough, all I've ever known is music and ministry. My granddad was one of the greatest musicians that there ever was, I feel like, and he got my parents and my aunts and uncles started in music all those years ago, bought them their first sound system, bought them their first instruments. Both sides of my grandparents, huge instrumental in getting my parents and our aunts and uncles into music, and all I know is ministry. My grandparents' dads were pastors. My dad was a pastor. My wife's people are pastors. My brother is a preacher, and my father-in-law is a pastor, and I've been a pastor, and so I was a senior pastor in Tennessee, and I've been in the ministry for 21 years this year. Wow. And started when I was 14 years old, but I'm 30. Yeah, I'm 35. I had to think about it for a minute. And so 21 years, and so my granddad, back in the day, he had about 25 music schools across the Southeast that him and his brother-in-law operated, and they've just been huge in music all of my life, and that's where I got my start. From the time that I could even hold an instrument or sit at a piano bench, I've been doing something, and so it's all I've ever known, and God has just blessed me with people in my life that I was able to get my start with our family group, and we made friends like Robbie and Dale Maxwell, and I ended up joining New Ground, and then from there I was able to meet people, and God crossed my path with Shay and Daryl Morris, and then I ended up with the Chuck Wagon gang, and so it's just all kind of, I didn't know what I was going to do after I come home from pastoring in Tennessee, and it wasn't long after I come home from Tennessee that I was with New Ground, and our family group was wide open, and we were going and traveling, and then I ended up with a Chuck Wagon gang. It's been a whirlwind. I've loved Southern Gospel all my life. I love Southern Gospel. I'm a Southern Gospel junkie, and I've been to all the concerts, met all the people, sat there and dreamed and everything else of being on stage at all them places, and all the places that I've dreamed of being, I've been on stage there, NQC and Bryson City. I went there when I was 9, 10, 11 years old. My grandparents would take me up there, and I've got all the signed pictures and all this stuff of the artist table. They would have all the pictures, and then I go sing there, and I share that stage and be back in the mountains there doing what I dreamed about doing all those years ago. And so I'm just all about ministry and serving the Lord and loving on my family and singing and playing some good Southern gospel music. That's about it.
That is awesome. And I learned something about you. I did not know that you was a pastor, brother. So that's something I just picked up. That's awesome. That is
Yes. Could you imagine being in my congregation?
absolutely. Could you imagine being in mine?
Yeah, well, I think we'd have a lot of fun.
All right. So I just feel crazy tonight. I just feel like turning everything upside down and on its head and upward. We always have this method and these ways we go, but why don't we just jump on into the comments and like see who's got, and then we'll come to the panel. Is that okay with you, Cody? You call the shots. All right.
I'm game for anything you do.
All right. Well, let's see who we got. We got now this one. I don't understand how this works, but on YouTube we had 2 comments from like a day and a half ago. I don't know how that happened, but this one has been up here for a day, I know. And Odie says he knows and been friends with his family for a long time.
Yeah, Boggs family. They are from Ohio.
And here's another one. Here's another one that was on for a while. Beverly Simpson's a big fan of Cody and loves what he sings about. We do too.
Yes.
Braves fan 98. Hey, we hope we have a
infamous.
great show too. He's going to have to watch the replay, and yeah, we know who this is now.
We know. We're waiting to post the reveal.
I've known him for a while.
He bought me food.
There you go.
Aaron, did you not meet him?
No.
Aaron.
What?
It's like Aaron was working a table or something.
Yeah. I was stuck in one place all week.
Bless your heart. I tell you what, Aaron deserves like a 3 gold stars for NQC week because Promised Land got hit with some sickness, had a couple of group members out, and so Aaron basically was working the table all week long. So he took one for the team. That's what you call a quartet man, brother. Sister Rachel Baines says, good evening, y'all. Thank you for joining us. Tiffany Roby, and it was a pleasure to meet Tiffany in person.
I loved meeting her.
Yeah, she's awesome.
And her family too.
Yes, absolutely. That CD I have enjoyed spending that CD.
I need to get me one of those.
Yeah, the Roby family, it was fantastic. Hannah Bradford, and she's also one of our longtime family members and contributors, and we appreciate her.
With them this week.
Yeah, Brady Jones finally got to meet Evan. I'm sorry. He is much shorter in person, though.
True.
Sometime through this. Did I cut you off, Evan?
You're good.
No. I was going to say I'm 3'2".
Oh yeah. Sometime in this interview, I don't know. He's probably if he's listening right now, he's going to come on and try to put a stop to everything. But I've got some great Brady stories when he traveled with us that way.
Let's go. Let's go. All right, let's go.
Spill the tea.
Mark Loden, good evening. We appreciate you watching. He's faithful to watch us. We thank him for it. Brian Park, he's watching from Ohio as always. We thank him. Zach Stanley. It's like we've already just said hello to him. But anyway, and yeah, we'll see it later. Chase Emery, hey bud.
Hello, Chase.
Howdy.
Joining us. Miss Johnny Parrish, met her in person, and she was a blessing to see. Good to see
Love
Nathan
them.
Dewberry is watching from the
My
road
buddy.
car.
Hopefully he's not driving.
Hope not. Be careful. Hey, Miss Harrison, good to see you from Winter Haven, Florida, and y'all be careful down there. I know you're getting ready for that hurricane. Please be careful.
Pray for our guest host, Leah. She's in
Yes.
Orlando too and can't get out. So
Wow.
I sent her a message and she hadn't texted back yet, but I told her she better be watching and get back up to Hayden if she needs to, for sure.
Yeah.
Miss Eunice, hello from Michigan. Good to see her. She's always faithful to support us. Brianna,
Hello.
look at here. It was great seeing her in person. She is a faithful contributor. Brent Bigby, met him in person as well,
Awesome
and
to
we
meet you.
we enjoyed it. Peggy Matthews from Clinton, Mississippi. Thank you for joining us and watching. Robert Bradford says, hello, Cody.
Oh, Papa Bradford.
In the flesh.
Daniel Garrett, we got to meet him in person. He's another one of our faithful supporters. Equally, we appreciate him. Matthew Mays, hey, bud, good to see you. And Blaine Rayleigh, good evening to you, sir. It's Mary Beth Gosa Parker. She's got kinfolks in my area, and it was a pleasure meeting her. She was just a joy to be around. Big encourager. Megan Edgeworth, always a faithful watcher on YouTube, asked, does the Shaneyfelt family still sing? She remembers watching y'all on Alabama Gospel Roots. I'll let you answer that.
Yes, when we all are home and can get together to do it.
Okay.
Yeah, we do. We
Very
do.
good.
As crazy as our schedule is, we do.
Oh.
Okay, we're going to go ahead and pop this question before any of our panel gets to ask you a question. Rachel's going to ask you about your favorite scripture verse and hymn and why. And
Okay, so the favorite verse, and I'm terrible at quoting verses, so I always botch them somehow. So I have to just come, and I'm gonna read it to you. I got my Bible right here on my phone.
all right.
So my favorite verse has always been Jeremiah 29:11. And it says, "For I know the thoughts that I think toward you, saith the Lord, thoughts of peace and not of evil, to give you an expected end." I love the thought that my wife thinks about me, and I'm glad that my family thinks about me and have friends that think about me, call me, text me, say, "Hey, buddy, thinking about you, love you, man, praying for you today." That I can't think of anybody else that I would rather have thinking about me than God himself.
Amen.
And his thoughts are so good, to bless you with good health, to bless you with salvation. We get to go to heaven. We have all the blessings of God, a wonderful wife, a wonderful little boy, who I think is actually on here because I think that's going to comment. Yeah. Bryson said,
Hey.
Hi.
Howdy,
"Hey,
howdy.
Bryson. Yeah, I'm coming home. We are playing Hot Wheels later. Yes, I will be home to play Hot Wheels later." No. So, I mean, all his thoughts are so good to us. And I am a product today of who I am only because God was thinking about me.
Amen.
And so, I'm glad he did. So what was that? What was the next question?
If you have a favorite hymn.
Oh, yeah, the love of God. The last verse especially.
Yes.
They say it was found written on the wall of an insane asylum.
Oh, wow.
And, it says, "Could we with ink the ocean feel?" That's a lot. "And were the sky a parchment made, so the whole sky becomes a piece of paper, and every stalk on earth a quill." That means every blade of grass, if it was a pencil, and every man, that means everybody that's ever lived, was a scribe by trade. And the writer said, "To write the love of God above would drain the oceans dry, and the scroll could not contain the whole, though stretched from sky to sky." That's a lot of love.
Amen.
That's a lot of love. And there's nothing greater than the love of God. And I am a product of that. And that's my mission, to let as many people as I can know about the love. So yeah, love of God, especially that last verse it's always been big to me because, man, what a recipient of love I am that I didn't deserve,
Mercy. Amen. We all are.
All right, this is a good episode already, and we're only 20 minutes in. So
That's right.
there we go.
I think Brother Cody's got my all-time favorite answer to favorite verse and hymn. That was fantastic, my brother.
You could cue the Singletary right there, and we could say it's been a good night. You know what I'm saying?
We could, but let's
It's good
hang
to
out.
be in church tonight. Oh.
Man, gee.
We got any more? We got to. Hey, Brady. Hey, Cody. Have you ever witnessed someone being put up into a toy like that? We're gonna have to. We need to hear about this.
So, I'm pretty sure, and Brady can correct me if I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure that he was on the phone with Zachary Wilburn when this happened.
Yep.
So, I was hanging out, we'd all in the room together, me and Josh and Brady. And so, new guy gets the fold out bed with the bar in the middle of it, and so he was on the fold out bed, just talking to Zachary. And I don't know, I was playing on my phone, and I don't know what Josh was doing, but I remember Josh had either come back in the room or was coming back from the bathroom or something. And he just walks over to Brady and just flips the couch at the bed and just folds him up in it like a burrito and it holds it up so tight that it locks in place and Brady can't get out. He's folded up like a pretzel and it just locks in place and Brady's like can't breathe and he's hollering and I mean we did nothing to help him.
And this is why he joined the Kingsmen instead.
Yeah, really.
So we feel like that's probably why he went with the Kingsman, because you can't really roll somebody up in their bunk like that. But
I'm going to be completely honest with you. As a guy who is incredibly claustrophobic,
Yeah, that sounds awful.
the video would have had to stop if it was rolling when she had done that to me. I'm just going to tell you, because it would not have been pretty. No, that's not. Oh gosh, that makes I'm sweating just thinking about that. He's the most flexible he's ever been. I bet, brother. Bless your heart.
there is a picture of it somewhere. I don't know where.
Somebody find it and send it.
I've got some pictures from that weekend, but I think Josh has got the picture. I was too busy laughing to take a picture. But
That's good. And Kyle Goodson says that he hears that Cody has a killer Elvis impression, and seeing as we have our own Elvis impersonator on our panel.
Cody's is better than ever.
It is. It's more accurate. I'll say it. I'll say it right here.
Okay. So what does it take to get that to be live and in living color?
You just
I can probably pull it off in like 1.2 seconds here.
Let's do it.
Not that big of a deal.
Oh, good.
That's as close as you can get. That's what he's like
That's
today.
as funny as it was at midnight at Cookout, man.
Okay. So
that's not what
Good night, everybody.
So I feel like I was set up a little bit on that. And so if anybody out there has any letters to write, please forward them to the Bradford household or the Shaneyfelt household. Okay.
Don't send them to the show.
Or the Goodson household, because he's
Let me give you an
I'm
address.
never going to Memphis again.
Wow. That's right there, buddy. Okay. So I think that's all. Is that all we got? Yeah, we better move on. We're going to clean this
I thought it
up.
was the midnight after NQC talking, but this is funny.
That's interesting. Well, look, here's what we'll do. And again, I'm just feeling crazy and we're just turning everything wimpy wompy all over the place. So my brother Aaron has always been the caboose in our question answering. So tonight, why don't we reverse this thing in our order? Go Aaron, Avery, Evan, and Riley, which is actually alphabetical order. And I didn't even really plan that, but Aaron, Avery, Evan, and Riley. So Evan, you're E. That's in your number 3. Got it?
The E comes.
You're before me.
Yeah, you're before
me,
Riley.
after Avery. Aaron's first, yeah.
So Aaron, save us. Help us out, brother.
Well, there's a reason that the guy that rides in the caboose doesn't get let up into the conductor's seat. But anyway, we'll try. So I've seen you play piano and bass guitar, but how many instruments do you actually play, and how long have you been playing each of them?
Well, drums was first. That was my first thing to learn to play. That was also my first job on the road with a group. I was a drummer. That was my first thing. That was my first. I played drums for our family group for several years, and back when my uncles and my mom and dad were singing, and I wasn't part of the singing. I was just in the band, So drums was my first thing for a long time. So probably, oh Lord, I think I started playing drums when I was, 5 or 6 years old. And so that was first. Then I probably started, I think guitar was probably next. Started teaching me, my granddad started teaching me acoustic guitar. And so I picked up on that. And just went through a phase there where I bought a lot of instruments and people bought me a lot of instruments. And so I don't play anything well. I just play several things. And so kind of a jack of all trades and master of nothing. And so so piano was probably next. I was probably 9 or 10 years old when I started playing piano. And then my dad, who was also pastor at the time, he's retired Air Force, and so he was gone a lot when even when he was pastoring, he would have to be gone a lot. Well, he was the bass guitar player. So just out of nowhere on one Sunday, I remember I picked up the bass, and I think everybody was a little nervous about that. And I just started teaching myself to play the bass, and then he would help me. And so I just kind of became the bass player, and then I picked up different things along the way, like the mandolin, and kind of plinked around on some other stringed instruments. And I love a steel guitar. I'm currently a student of steel guitar, and I started picking that up. I love playing the steel, and so I play a few things, and I play some better than others, but I love music. So I don't know, efficiently maybe 3 or 4 instruments, inefficiently maybe 7 or 8. So.
Fantastic.
But I do get a kick out of trying. I don't know if people listening to me get a kick out of it, but I do get a kick out of it.
That's how I feel living with Evan. Jack of all trades and master of none. Yeah, he plays everything.
Yes.
So
Those guys make me sick.
yeah, same. I can barely.
You are one of those guys.
I know. I make myself sick.
I can barely play the mandolin. So yes. Here's a question I love to ask people, and you travel with several groups, but is there one that is not currently traveling and has retired that you would like to sing for or play for?
Oh,
And
yeah.
why?
Oh, retired? Or retired or not currently
Not
on the
on
road?
the road, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yes. And that is the cathedrals. And just, man, I grew up on the cathedrals. I love the cathedrals. I love their sound. I love the energy on stage. I love their music. And I would have loved to either sing that baritone part with them, or because I'm a natural baritone, and everything I used to sing was baritone. And I'm not a true bass. I just try to do like the bass singers before me, some of them with the chucks, and just kind of uphold that low end of the harmony and kind of round it all out. But I'm not a true bass, and everybody knows that, and I know that, and I think that's why it works. But because there's no false pretenses there. But I'm a baritone by nature, and so I would love to have sung that baritone part, or even played, bass guitar or something like that for the cathedrals. I would have loved to just been a part of that experience. I love Glenn, love George. They're heroes of mine. Grew up with cathedrals and watching them on the Gators and all that kind of stuff. And so it's just, cathedrals. To answer your question, it would be cathedrals.
Perfect.
Nice. Yeah. I feel like we need a cathedrals counter because that's just the kind of like
That is,
that's the impact that they had on Southern gospel music. I mean, they were just, you couldn't match them.
Yes. And especially on young artists.
Yeah,
yes,
for sure.
Yep.
Glenn and George was just a training ground for young artists, and you see what has come out of it.
Right.
Danny Thunderbird, Mark Trammell, Gerald Wolfe, the list, Scott Fowler, the list goes on and on,
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So going with that, you saying that you have guys like Glenn and George that were training ground. Who were some people, because you've been on the road for a little bit now. I mean, if you said you started playing drums at 5 and you're now, 35, you've been on the road for probably 30 years, if my math's right. So who are some of those people who have been your personal training ground?
No doubt, instrumentally, probably my family, my dad and granddad, and that helped me in those earlier years of cultivating my music and pushing me and giving me the opportunities. There's been a lot of them that took a chance on me, and the first ones that took a chance on me outside of my family, you know, would have had to have been, you know, Dale and Robbie and David Owens to welcome me into, you know, our family had known each other all those years, but you know, everybody knows who Newground is, and everybody respects them in the industry, and for them to bring me on board and trust me to be on their stage and have quite a possibility of you know, of changing that sound, whether it be the good for the bad. You know, when I stepped on stage with them, and you know, they were instrumental in cultivating my career in Southern gospel music and being one of the first groups outside of my family to take a chance on me. And so, and from then, you know, the Chucks took a chance on me, and I'm grateful for that. And it's opened up so many doors of other people who have really been instrumental in teaching me, taking me under their wing. You know, one in particular would be the friendship that I have been privileged to have with, you know, with Randy Shellnut. And he's like a walking Southern gospel, you know, encyclopedia and music genius. And all these guys, you know, and people that we work with from time to time, you know, they're my heroes. They're encouragement. I'm gonna tell you, Southern gospel music, there's people out there, they are a huge family of encouragers.
Yep.
And if it wasn't for that, we wouldn't have near the chances or the opportunities that we have to be a part of this amazing music in whatever capacity that we're a part of it in. And it's just because people are like, hey, I remember where I came from too, and I want to lend you a hand and pull you up, but here's one condition: you've got to be willing one day to turn around and throw your hand down and pull somebody else up too. And I won't ever forget that. And I'm looking forward to the day that I can turn around and extend my hand and say, come on, man, let's give you a chance. Let's get you in here. You know, so.
Yeah. Miss Robbie is one of my biggest heroes too. I love her. I don't talk about that much, but like growing up, I remember going to see Newground and I was like, I would love to sing like Miss Robbie sings.
Yeah. Great. Oh, there's Mama right there. Yeah. Mama Robbie. Yeah. Yeah. Nothing like being on the bus with Dale and Robbie and David. I'm tell you that.
That's a crew right there.
So continuing along the same lines, you mentioned the cathedrals being big inspirations for you growing up. What are some other groups that kind of shaped your love for gospel music?
It's inspirations all the way. And there is a backstory to me and the inspirations that I'll tell y'all in a different place, I guess. The time is just amazing. It's an incredible story that not a lot of people know about, but inspirations have been big in my life. I've got this here. I don't know if you can see this or not, but I went every year to Bryson City. Okay, my grandparents would take me up there every year to Bryson City, and I got to know all those guys, and you know, they become heroes to me, and I got to know them, and they would know me when I walked up to the table, and inspirations was huge. And I grew up standing in between my grandparents in his farm truck, singing at the top of my lungs, Jesus is coming. And so, I mean, it was just part of my life, you know? So, yeah. So they would sign this stuff. I don't know if you can see this. It says to Cody, our buddy.
Aww.
That's too cool.
Wow.
Wow.
The ones that I had grew up with right there. Martin and Myron, of course, but Mike, Eddie, Ronnie, and Archie.
Yep.
And so I've got, I don't know how many, you know, and then, you know, like the ones with Matt and Milton and Jack Laws, the bear hunter. And so the inspirations was huge in cultivating my love for gospel music. I fell in love with gospel music at Inspiration Park in Bryson City. My first big experience to a Southern gospel venue, you know, was in the mountains of Bryson City in Inspiration Park. So,
So can I insert a follow-up to that?
Sure.
So, what was it like for you after attending all your life to be on that stage this year back in Bryson City at Singing in the Smokies?
Very surreal. Very surreal. I couldn't believe that I was there. Couldn't believe I had the opportunity to do that, and stood on that stage and looked down the hill where the old stage was.
Yeah.
And man, and could remember in my mind the sea of lawn chairs out there, and what was going on that stage with the ferns sitting out there and the lights on in the stage and all that stuff. And I'm like, I'm here. I mean, this is incredible. It blew my mind. And
So
I've been on some cool stages, but that was probably one of the coolest ones, So as a bucket list check for sure.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
tonight wins the award for most wholesome episode we've ever had. Honestly.
Absolutely.
Well, and on that note, we're going to go to our comments, and yeah, it's not too bad. We're gonna but we got some good reactions on some things. But yeah, Scott talks about Cody frequenting the tables of Mel's Diner last week too.
Convinced us to go to Mel's, and we won over with Cookout.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Jordan Garrison, world's okayest brother-in-law.
Yeah, Jordy. Yeah, that's the old brother-in-law. Fantastic musician. Play anything with strings on it. Me and him. Oh, there's his wife.
Yeah.
My favorite
She's
sister-in-law.
watching. Thank y'all for watching. Appreciate that greatly. Christine Mann. Hello, guys, and Avery.
She goes to our church. We love her.
Yes. Whitney Holcomb is watching. Hey there. Good to see you.
Oh, there's Justin Bufford.
Justin Bufford says, hello, my friend.
Yeah, long time preacher friend of mine.
Tony Goforth from Louisville.
Yay.
Tim
Hello.
Caldwell. Hey, gentlemen.
Hey, he called us gentlemen.
And
He wasn't speaking to everybody.
And young lady, there we go.
There we go. Yeah, there we go. Gospel Messenger is tuning in and watching from Maryland. And they always keep up with how many states are watching, but we're early in the game. Yeah, we got 5 mentions so far. So we'll keep trucking with that. Caleb and Anna Shaneyfelt. Who is Cody Shaneyfelt?
I think the real question is, how is Cody Shaneyfelt?
Yeah, what is, anyway?
Spoken like a
Serena
true-
Doss. Hello, Evan and Avery. So
Wow.
I've got your
I see how it
section.
is.
Yeah, really. Brother Mitch
quit.
is saying not true that Cody is a great upright bass player. When
Yeah.
Facts.
Mitch is kind.
he is
My
kind,
buddy.
but he's truthful too. Paula Hendricks, not what she was. And now here we go. Not what they were expecting on the Elvis impersonation. And there's a few more. I don't know if there's a pun intended, but Blaine says he's dead over there. That was.
So was Elvis.
And Hannah Bradford, how do we continue after that? Where we're going to do our best. And Robert Bradford's laughing and snorting. And
He
so
came
I'm
through and
glad-
he was like, I almost died.
Now, Mr. and Miss Shaneyfelt did say that Cody has another impression of a ex-president, but I don't know. I thought about putting that up here, and then I thought there were just so many directions that could go. So I think I'm going to leave that one alone.
I think
I vote off camera.
Keep going.
Oh,
You can brust out in it anytime there, Cody.
Yeah.
Janet Garrison is watching and says,
the mother-in-law.
yeah,
Oh.
look out.
Mother-in-law.
Look out.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I agree. Blaine is reminding us, because Danny Riley has said this, many have said this, but Sand Mountain is just such a treasure trove for Southern gospel singers. And
It
it's been
is.
said, you shake a tree branch in Sand Mountain, a gospel singer falls out. And,
I don't know what Alabama can do. Everything. I don't know what all we can put out there, but we can throw some Southern gospel out.
Absolutely.
they
Numbers
can't win,
out
that's
there.
for sure. No kidding.
Hey,
Uh,
out there in Georgia. No, sir. No, don't bring that negativity in this room. It's
Anyway,
true. It's
we're
true.
good. We got anything else we're going to pop up? Russell Shaneyfelt, answer Caleb. Cody is the guy that couldn't wait to have his picture on the family banner after he came up was full time, but now is gone more than he's here. So, wow.
Yeah, so the family group was singing again before while we was going pastoring and stuff, and then they got the group back together and continued going. And so when I come home, I joined them again. They kept putting this banner up at the concerts that didn't even have me on it. I'm like, what are y'all doing? And then they made one, and yeah, it was really nice.
That's good. Jeremy and Marie Robinson, this
yeah.
is best friend Cody. Hey,
Yeah,
thank you for
my
joining
buddies
us.
from Tennessee.
Yeah.
Family.
Well, that was his best friend.
All right, I think we have called up. We just love to get those who are giving their time and being with us, get them on here, and we thank y'all for watching and interacting with us. Remember to share us if you don't mind, like us on the Facebook page and share us, and then
with your enemies too.
Yeah, absolutely. Even people you don't like. That's maybe who you need to share the most with. And YouTube, please, if you don't mind.
Yes.
Go out there and help us out on our YouTube subscriptions. So I think we're just go ahead and fall in line maybe with well, let's talk about this. Can we do the I'm shifting gears midstream, Brother Jason. Hold on for dear life. Cody, you spent a lot of time with us last week at NQC, and real quick, and don't want to take much time with this, but Southern Gospel Forward had a blessed week at NQC. Really, there was a lot of work. I did not expect to spend about 90% of my time of NQC at a table, and I did. I saw the least amount of singing I think I've ever seen when I've gone to NQC. And that's okay, because I was so blessed to see so many wonderful people come by and just to give us some encouragement and love on us. And it was great to meet. And I know our young folks got to meet, our young hosts got to meet so many of y'all who support them and love on them. And it was such a blessing. Can we share just really quick some pictures from the week that we kind of put together here?
It'd be awesome. I'm glad
that was our booth that we set up, and we were in the back room of the back row of that Greenbrier room. It was an awesome location. Several artists came by, visited with us. This is a little group picture that we took behind our table, got everybody cheesing there, and it was so great to have everybody together.
I don't know where Evan and Riley went for that picture. But
I was the cake.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, we had a lot of times when some of our team members would just go missing with no explanation. So
where was Evan? I said, I don't know.
No, I got them nachos.
Okay. Well, anyway.
That story. Okay. Yeah.
So Miss Tammy Rice, who I want to say publicly thank you to her and Brother Arthur Rice, because they helped us with this cake and sponsored us on this, and it was such a blessing. They love young people. They are champions of young people and young artists and young fans, and so they wanted to help us out. But Tammy brought Chip Woods over, and this picture is courtesy of NQC, but this is a snapshot they took with us with our cake, celebrating 1 year together. Last minute, I asked Brother Evan if he would talk to the crowd when we got started, and he did a great job. You see the crowd that was gathered as the camera pans around a little bit, capturing those. And so many friends were there with us, and that was such a blessing. Oh, my goodness. Anthony was there, gave us the sweetest card that he personally made, and it was just such a blessing seeing him. We love his energy, and we love his friendship and his family. We did have our Andes, and I figure this will become an annual thing. We'll look at timing probably on it, but we kicked off the NQC week at Andes, and we had some friends join us in the crowd, and we didn't get pictures I wish we had taken more pictures at Andes to capture everybody, but we had a really good fun turnout. And let's see what else we got in line. Oh, we had our shirt day, and we had several folks come to pose for a group picture, but there were a whole lot more shirts in the building than you see in that picture. We just couldn't capture everybody. And of course, artists had to wear their nice digs for the table working, so they couldn't wear all the shirts on that day. But we already showed this one where we just hung out at the table, and this is just one picture. There were so many times I would look up and it'd be young artists or young fans just hanging out at the table and just enjoying one another and just spending time and it was just such a blessing to see. And then we closed out we didn't have Brother Jason and Brother Aaron in this picture, but it's just surreal that, and I posted something the other day about this, you go back a year and about 2 or 3 months back, and there was no Southern Gospel Forward. And these wonderful young people standing beside me in this picture have worked to help make this what it is. And done such a wonderful job. And then Aaron coming in beside us, all the work Brother Jason does. And Aaron is super. I mean, he is just absolutely super. We appreciate him. But y'all, thank y'all for sharing the NQC week with us. If we didn't get to see you, I've seen some names that I wanted to meet that's even popped up, in our comments that I know was there. But some people told us they didn't know where our table was at. We tried to advertise, and and I have no idea. I sincerely hope that we sincerely want to thank the board of directors for letting us have the booth space, and it is our prayer and heart's desire that we'll be invited back. And if so, we may be in that same spot. We'll just see. But in the back of that big old ballroom is where we were at, and we're already looking forward.
That was a good spot, I think.
I do too, because I enjoyed that very much. So thank y'all for giving us a great NQC week. About 50 more weeks from now, we'll do it again.
I'm already tired. I'm already tired.
Oh, Lord.
Brother Cody, was you fixing to say something? Or
I was just praying when you made that comment.
Oh.
About 50 more weeks left until NQC.
Yeah. Well, I'm like Brother Tate Emmons, and I got tickled over that little. I captured a quote that he said on the radio and made a post on Facebook about it. And his mom and dad saw it, and they said, "Well, we need to make some T-shirts on that." But Cody made a comment on the radio that NQC was his favorite holiday, and
Tate, not Cody.
What'd I say?
Cody, can you say it, and that way we can say that you said it on
Tate Emmons. I'm sorry, Tate Emmons. Forgive the old guy. I'm tired. I've got bank examiners coming, so my brain is stretched. But anyway, Tate Emmons said that NQC is his favorite holiday. And what a quote. And I mean, it's just such a fun time, and so many people just look forward to that. I don't know anybody, that doesn't, who's got to go, that does not just enjoy the week and everything it brings. What's Tiffany saying? It was, man, we enjoyed getting to meet you too. And we're hoping Miss Tiffany might, I don't want to let too much out of the bag, but we're going to get some more people involved with Southern Gospel Forward. So we'll just leave that little teaser there. Avery has been far too long the only female presence on this thing sometimes, so we'll see what happens. But which we do have some female posters in the Southern Gospel Forward group. And y'all remember, if you are a Southern Gospel artist of any age, or if you are a fan and you're in that 35 to 40 range, like Brother Cody, and are under, we would love for you to join our private Facebook group. And it's private just because it's just a place for us to kind of have community and not have to worry about the spammers and the attackers and the freaks and frauds and all that kind of good stuff out there in this day and time. And maybe I shouldn't have said that, but it's true in Facebook land. Y'all know if you got an account. And so we do this to protect and to have a good, safe place to be. But y'all join us. If it's really fun. We would love for you to be a part of that. But anyway, we do have some that post in there. I know Ashton, Riley's sister, has posted a lot in there. And then Hannah Bradford is posted. We're going to get some more people involved in Southern Gospel Forward. So we'll lay that little teaser out there. But Mercy Alive, it was just such a blessing. And also one thing, and I'm actually going to do something here in a minute. I'm going to actually just pull myself out and leave the forum, so I shut up and stay out of the way. But I enjoy Southern Gospel family so much and seeing it in practice. And NQC is just such a way to see it. You see artists in community. You see fans in community. I saw artists taking time to pray with fans, to talk to fans, to share with fans, to pour into fans in their lives. And what other genre of music do you see that kind of thing? I mean, you don't. And I see artists busting the doors back to get into the arena to watch their friends on stage, to cheer them on and to root for them and to encourage them, and just see the older artists pouring into the younger ones. And it's such a blessing to see that community. I'm thankful for that. And I know y'all probably feel the same way.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
we do.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Especially after last week.
Yeah. And the awesome thing, was, I'm going to say this, and I got to leave this very short, but the awesome thing was a lot of young folks pouring into me. That's awesome, man. That's cool. That's cool. I am going to pull myself out and hush and get out of the way. And why don't y'all keep this thing going with Aaron? Just keep it going in that cycle. I may pop in here or there, but y'all don't need to see me. I'm going to get out of the way and let y'all have this. Take off.
All right, so I like to ask this question of each of our guests because I like to see how the different musical tastes come through on it. But put together your dream quartet lineup, and if they have a band, then include the band members as well.
oh boy.
I'm excited for this.
Me too.
Thank you, Aaron.
You're welcome.
All right, so golly.
We know Josh Garner's going to be the lead. You can just put that there. It's cool.
Josh Gardner,
Please
tenor,
cue the
lead,
music.
baritone, and bass.
Yeah, the world's greatest quartet singer, as he said.
That sings in a mixed group.
So, so let's just start with the bass singer. I'm gonna have to. See, here's the problem with it. I've made a lot of friends in Southern Gospel. If they watch this, then I'm going to pick somebody else, and it's not going to be them singing in position. So let's just put together a quartet. All right. So please, nobody get offended with me, and don't cut the wire on my microphone the next time we work together at a concert. So, let's just start with a bass singer. I'm going to go with Jeff Chapman.
Yes.
And
That's a good. Oh,
Should I put the picture up of you in the crime scene where you died when you met him?
Yeah.
he's just like he's a beast, man.
Mm-hmm.
Baritone's going to be Mark Trammell every time.
Yes.
absolutely.
He's the goat when it comes to. So lead singer. Wow. That's
I could
tough.
probably guess, but I'm interested to hear this answer.
Oh, let's see. Let me skip over to tenor singer, I guess. Let me skip over to tenor singer. I'm probably gonna pull David Sutton.
Ooh.
Mm.
Okay.
So I want to come back to the lead singer. I got to think about that for a minute. So that's my three right there for now. So band, probably for a piano player. I would probably like to see Gerald Wolfe at the piano.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
And
The man.
yeah, probably bass guitar. It's hard to find a more solid quartet bass guitar player than Scoot Shellnut.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm probably gonna put Mike Hopper on the drums.
Yes.
Thank
There
you.
go.
Thank you. No one ever does that. He is a phenomenal drummer.
Yeah, he's very underrated as far as the drummer is concerned, I think.
We'll say that the singers that you put in, or even the band members, it can be past or present.
Okay, so if I'm going past on piano players, then I'm gonna have to put Jeff Stice on there.
There you go.
So lead singer, if you want a lead singer of the past, I mean, you can't pass over Glenn Payne. You know, so lead singer present,
Josh Gardner. It's inevitable.
Well,
I
he's a
am
good,
inevitable.
he's a good lead singer.
He is.
He has the ability, and I thought about putting him in there, you know, and everybody's gonna be like, well, it's just because you travel with him every week. But fact of the matter is, aside from being crazy as a run over dog, he's probably one of the most solid lead singers that there is. I love Josh, man. He's my friend.
Crazy as a run over dog.
That was an Evan Bradford quote that didn't even come from Evan.
Yeah, feel free to use it. Yeah, but
I'm sure we will.
I've watched him sing. I've watched him sing like every part. I mean, seriously, like fill in for people at the drop of a hat. Like at the drop of a hat. Like we was singing in. Yeah, we were singing in like no, it wasn't Dominion. Shadow Valley outdoors. Yeah, so we was singing that night, and the Blackwood brothers was there, and John wasn't able to be with them because he had a prior commitment. And like I walk out of the bathroom in the hotel room that morning, and he's sitting there listening to Blackwoods, learning the songs for the first time. I'm like, he's like, I'm trying. He's like, Billy texts me, and I'm filling in with the Blackwoods tonight, and he's just that quick off the cuff. He can just fill in anywhere he goes, and he's a solid quartet man. And so I think he would probably fit the mold for present day. So I guess it'd be him, Josh on lead, David Sutton maybe tenor, and Jeff Chapman on bass, and Mark Trammell on baritone. And,
That is solid.
I'd buy a ticket to that right there.
Right? Someone make that happen.
Yeah.
Next year's Memphis All-Star.
Yeah.
Quartet.
There we go.
Sorry.
Is it my turn now? Sorry,
Avery, you're up.
I was thinking about how good that lineup would be.
I got a lot of friends, bass singers especially. Sorry, Brady. Sorry, Wyatt.
Okay, so here's a question I pulled out at the end of season 1 and then forgot to ask at the beginning of season 2. But I am picky about my water. People are like, "Oh, it's just water. Did it all taste?" No, that's lies. They taste different. Okay.
They do.
What is your favorite brand of water?
Favorite brand of water? That's an interesting question. I drink all kinds of brands of water because I have to, and because you sing whatever's in the church refrigerator wherever you're singing at, you know.
Sometimes that's tap.
Yeah.
Scared.
So I don't know. I'm a big. I guess I'm a. So yeah, he's probably right about that, but probably the Walmart. Listen, honestly, the stuff we drink the most is the Great Value water brand, a Walmart brand.
It is good.
Yeah, it's very clean tasting.
Yeah, and everybody like, oh, let's drink Dasani. Well, when I get done drinking Dasani, I'm still thirsty, and because for some reason I'm like, no, we don't.
No, your wife said he doesn't drink water.
So, dude, ginger ale has water in it.
No, I drink Sprite. Sprite's clear, right?
Time for my question.
Yeah. Go.
All right, here's my question. So we
Yeah.
know you like ginger ale. So what's your favorite road trip snack?
Ginger ale.
Favorite snack. Let's see. It's gonna be a tough tie between hot fries and honey buns.
Together or separate?
Yeah, probably that, and probably not going to be trumped by Oreos. Oreos is a big deal with me.
Yeah, man.
And yeah, well, that's true. But I like those little, what do they call them things? The little pizza things or whatever.
Combo.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I like combos.
Yes. Combos and honey buns.
Oh yeah.
And probably a little bit of beef jerky. Yeah.
Man, they were good. Man, that's a meal. He made a road trip meal.
Yeah, that sounds pretty good.
There you go.
Yeah, we eat out of a lot of convenience stores. Yeah.
So I guess it's my turn now, right?
Mhm.
Wow, that's crazy. So I introduced this question. I don't think I did it for the Garens. I think I did the Andy's question instead. But what is your Chick-fil-A order?
Oh, that's a no-brainer. Number 3, 12-count large combo with a lemonade, an extra honey mustard, and Chick-fil-A sauce.
Hallelujah.
Hey man,
What is
let's go eat it.
Is that like 12 count?
Number 3, 12 count.
Oh, oh,
Yeah.
I was like, what's a number 12? I don't know what that is.
Number 3, 12-count large combo. I want them waffle fries large.
I did fries today. I despise it with a passion.
Excuse me?
That's just throwing that out there for everybody.
You don't like the waffle fries?
No, I don't like making them.
Oh. Never tried that.
Bad on my back, but you know what? We make it.
Hey, diamonds are made from dirt. Just remember
Yeah.
that.
So my first public job, not my first job. My first job was working at the family business, which was a sewing factory, which I'm still employed with
Making
today.
socks,
Didn't
right?
you make socks there?
No. This comes from a
Inside.
2:00 in the morning conversation at Cookout. And so, no, we don't stop. Contrary to popular belief from people who live in the mountains of North Carolina, we didn't make socks.
That was funny. That's just.
So my first job, public job, was Chick-fil-A.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So I worked there for, I don't remember how long, but it was a while. And going
Too
through
long.
college.
No.
Yeah. I was going through college, and
Makes sense.
I mean, it was probably a year after I worked there. Every time I'd hold the door for an elderly lady at a gas station, and she'd say thank you, I'd say my pleasure.
Heard.
I like to never got out of that mode. I mean, like, you do anything for anybody, thank you, Cody, my pleasure.
Is it
I
true
do it
or
all the
false
time.
that They brainwash you at Chick-fil-A to say that.
I think it's.
Yep.
Did you
They
also
do.
say heard? Heard.
Oh, yeah.
Heard. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Eat
forever
more.
ingrained in my brain.
Y'all ready to look back in some comments?
That'd be
Yes.
good.
All right. Jason, if you want to go for it. Cheryl Croc watching from Southern Indiana. Hi.
Nice.
Banging in Southern Indiana.
What's the most stressful
Who's
part
this
about
guy?
traveling? Why is it Josh? Because he'll fold you up into a fold-out couch.
Yes.
Not Cody.
I don't even have to answer that.
Aw.
Oh,
Proud
there's
of our
Pops.
boy.
There's Daddy.
Oh.
Oh,
I also have
No.
one of Andy Guerin chugging
we
Sprite.
don't need that video sent anywhere.
We need it on the Ford private group page. Just stay tuned.
That was a painful night, y'all.
For Southern Gospel Ford Plus. There you go. Subscribe.
Oh, Blaine.
We'll keep you in just for good old times' sake.
Mhm.
Blaine, we call it grandfathering in. You'll be safe.
Oh, JC.
Hey, if y'all are at Memphis Quartet Show this year, go and see Unity 4. There's a little, what do they call that? Plug?
Yeah. there's
Unsponsored plug. Y'all go see Unity 4 if you can. They are awesome.
They are very good.
I saw a video of them. They are awesome. I want to
Yeah.
hear them in person. So,
Mark
Yeah.
Spence.
Hey.
woo!
Uncle Mark.
Oh. Yes, that band
Agreed.
was good.
Agreed.
Mhm.
That'd be tight.
Crazy's around right now.
Mm-hmm.
That's a highlight. There's been
Highlight
so
of
many.
the episode. Yep. Run over dog. Man, you really got it with that run over dog.
I can hear you going, you're just
Tiffany's about to traumatize all the kids.
Everybody's gonna be like, "You hit a dog?"
Not the dog.
It's gonna be really sad if like a poor kid's dog does get ran over and they're like,
it's water if it's mixed. I say yes if it's mixed with coffee grounds. It's mostly water.
no, that's like flavored. Well,
Yeah.
It's like flavored
it's like
water. It's soup. It's a broth.
It is not my pleasure. No, I'm just kidding.
Surprised today.
We're just a little bitter about it. You know,
Whoa.
Ooh,
What does he
Wow.
mean? Where was we at in the conversation that
I
comment?
think the lemonade. I hope the lemonade.
Fries and lemonade, large
We're in the
fries.
food area.
The food arena.
Very good, very good.
Yeah.
And I did
Ooh.
partake of it, several cups of it.
I did
Very
not.
good things.
I did not know there was lemonade available.
I just ate a bunch of boo cakes until I was dead. Honestly.
So I have a special surprise for you, Cody. So the first on the road vlog was actually supposed to be the Chuck Wagon Gang way back in the 1st of May. But Cody is the reason it never got uploaded. Because he asked that we not upload these videos. Because it was a strange setup. So that weekend, Nick, their guitarist, was out because of a death in his family. And so for the first time, and what we were discussing was, from as far as we know, the first time the Chuck Wagon Gang had performed with just a piano. And Cody was the one playing that. And I actually have uploaded a clip so everybody can see just a small clip of what that concert was. Because it was awesome.
Woo!
That was going to be a whole vlog. So, Cody, if you want me to upload the whole version of that, I will. But if not, we'll just go with that clip.
You should also do Josh's laughing song from that night.
Yeah.
Oh,
I really enjoyed the Mighty Word of God with piano too. That was cool.
Yes.
I saw that.
I was between that one and the Mighty Word of God to upload, but that one was a little shorter, so I included that.
Also, here's a little cheat code. The Chuck Wagon on piano is just mixed group inspirations.
Well,
Am I right, though?
I guess. I mean, yeah. Today, Myron Cook probably wouldn't appreciate that comment back in the day, but
Oh, was he not a big Chuck Wagon guy?
well, he was the bass player, for the inspirations.
Oh, yeah.
And he's like, well, what are you talking? Where am I at? No, seriously, that's pretty much true. That was the Chuck Wagon Gang had a piano player back in the early '90s,
Yep.
early '90s, and that was Harold Timmons. But it was they still had a guitar on stage.
right. And there was no guitar, no bass this time.
Right. This was the first time in the history of the gang
Oh,
ever
yeah.
that has just been single piano on stage.
And it was awesome.
Thank you. It was
welcome.
very interesting to say the least. I spent because we knew Nick's situation was family situation, and he was going to be out, and we knew ahead of time. And I was like, this is not going to be a big deal. I'm very comfortable with the songs. How hard can it be? And then I sat down at the piano and started playing Chuck Wagon Gang songs on piano. And I'm like, this is going to be an absolute disaster.
And it was not, but it was very good.
It was, yeah. Watching back, that was really good. And I think Josh should bring out George Yount's laughing song more. I'm just saying.
So yeah, he did that week, and he said we was about to go on stage. He
There
said,
was like 15 kids there. I mean, like under 10, all sitting on the front 2 rows.
Oh,
at the
cool.
church.
I don't know if they were blessed or scarred for life, but
Yeah. My kid got his crock thrown across the church. So.
He got his what?
His crock, he took it off and threw it across the church.
yeah. So he's like, do you remember the laughing song from George Johnson? I said, yeah. He said, all right. He said, this is what key we're going to do. And he said, no, I don't tell anybody. When I give you the cue, you just give me the
I
intro.
had no idea what was happening.
And he started. So yeah, it was interesting.
Okay. So do we want to do one more round of questions and then see if Scott's ready to join us again?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it would probably be.
Hey,
Wow.
Ron, kick us off.
Well, they caught me off guard. Now I have to think of a question. Because a lot of the stuff I was going to ask has been answered. I like asking this one too, especially if the group has a lot of history. If there was a couple of Chuck Wagon Gang songs from over the years that you would like to bring back that y'all are not currently staging, what would, let's just say 2 of those, if you had 2 songs you could bring back, what would they be?
Wow. We are not currently staging them. Wow, there's a lot of songs.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's only been around
Are they-
100 years. It should
Are
be
the
easy
Chucks
in there
the
now.
longest running group in history?
Blackwood.
Blackwood's your number 1, Chucks are number
Oh.
2.
Yeah. Well, yeah, currently running. Yeah, Blackwood started, I think, if I'm not mistaken, they got it about 2 years.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's real close.
Yeah, it's really close. So yeah, we're almost at 90 years ourselves. Except we're not currently staging as of right now. We've been doing a lot of different songs here lately, pulling out stuff stuff out of Mama's cedar chest, man.
That's an underrated joke right there.
You ever heard Two Gardens?
Yeah.
Two Gardens is the bane of my existence.
Yeah, Two Gardens was a really cool song.
It was.
One that we did one time was Joshua led God's children into Canaan's land. That was a fun song that we did one time. We learned it for one concert that somebody had requested it, and those are a couple really cool songs. It's a really peppy, upbeat song. Oh, Joshua led God's children into Canaan's land. It's just really a lot of parts, a lot of minors, a lot of cool things. We learned it one time, then forgot it, and but it's a really cool song. And Two Gardens I love to hear Missy and Shaden sing that, and I love that song. Really crazy contrast between 2 Bible gardens that's talked about there. Really cool message in the song, and we do it ever so often, but it's a really good song that I kind of wish we would do a little more.
Yeah, it's cool. Good
We got a lot
choices.
of great songs right now though that we do stage, and
Mhm.
every weekend they pull one out of the hat, like a promoter or somebody from a church or where we're going will call and be like, here's a set, we want to hear these requests, and Missy's like, I don't think the boys have ever heard that song before. and so she will send us, she is faithful just about every time we go out on tour. She is faithful to send us YouTube videos, and me and Nick will have to learn songs that we've never heard before leading up to that tour. And so we go out, pretty much we're learning new Chuck songs because somebody had requested it, and we wasn't even developing eyelids when the gang sang it for the first time, so we have no idea what the song is. And so we learn it. It's cool to learn them though. There's like 1,000, 1,500 of them or something like that.
Yeah. There's a lot. I love to go out. Like a lot of times if I'm driving in my car, I can quite literally just say, hey Siri, shuffle the Chuck Wagon Gang, and I know that there will be songs I have never heard before on there. So, and that's probably my, like Evan talks about his record collection. My biggest is the Chuck Wagon Gang. I'm trying to collect all of them, but that is insanely hard because, like you said, they've been going for almost 90 years.
Yes.
Here to here on
Yeah,
the
I
record
have
collection.
not even scratched the
About here to
surface.
there.
Oh
But,
yeah.
Avery, I don't know if you heard that or not, but you activated my little HomePod speaker over here, and so it
I
just
heard
built
this
me
a little
it built me
bit.
a shuffle of Chuck Wagon Gang station that I'll have to listen to later.
You're welcome. It will bless your heart. But here's another question I like to ask people. So if singing was like, if it didn't exist and you didn't do it, and you didn't play music, what would you do as like a normal job?
Make songs.
Didn't exist. Okay, so we're going to take you're going to just take the ministry out of it, right?
Yeah,
Yep.
just like a normal job.
Okay. I know this is going to be crazy, but I've got a history of doing this. It's a few years ago. I was involved in politics, and I love politics. And I was able to sit on city boards and stuff in my town that I live in and do some different stuff. I love politics and government stuff. So if I wasn't in music, I'd probably be in politics.
Cody
for
Shaneyfelt,
president.
mayor. Yeah.
President.
Oh, president. Yeah.
Let's just go all the way to
Cody for
president.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
I'll be picking my running mate sometime next week.
Last minute candidate right there, yeah.
Man, I've just always enjoyed the politics. I've always loved government stuff, history stuff, and I'm real big into that. And I don't have opportunity to do it as much as I used to and get involved in some stuff that I used to love being involved in, that kind of thing. And so honestly, it seems like black and white, being in the ministry and playing Southern gospel music and then politics. It's like night and day. But
So here's my question. Speaking of running mates, we've talked about Josh Gardner all night, but you have another young fella that travels with you, and I got to know him and you a lot whenever Avery was filling in. What are some fun Nick stories that you have?
It's about as funny as
Nick is. That's what I was going to say. Nick is about as funnier as. That wasn't a complete sentence.
Nick is about.
Nick is funny. That's a period.
Yeah.
Gosh, funny Nick stories.
That you can tell to the public.
Yeah, that we can tell.
You caught me off guard there. Me and Nick have just a lot of crazy, weird, inside humorous moments because we spend the most time together, I think, out of anybody on the road. And me and Nick have become like best friends, man. And we talk a lot off tour as much as we do on tour. And we're usually the ones sharing the hotel rooms, riding together, hanging out backstage. When the gang's on tour, we're going places and doing things together. And I'm trying to think of some moments. That question really caught me off guard. I know that we've had some crazy.
I'm trying to think of one that maybe y'all experienced with me.
Yeah. I wish Poe was on here because maybe he could come up with something. I don't know where he's at tonight, but I figured he would be on here saying something about me. But
yeah, I figured he'd be in here haggling you.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'll come back to that question, I guess, because maybe when I'm not trying so hard to think about it, maybe something will come to my mind. I know they're out there because you can't spend 10 months on the road with a guy and become like really
yeah.
And there not be something to it,
You can't spend 4 days with a guy and not have a funny story.
Except on the cruise when me and him would want to go up, late at night and up on the top deck and grab some ginger ale and some popcorn and watch a movie because, my family was with me on the cruise, but Heather, and she's on here, so she's going to kill me. Heather spent most of her time seasick in our room, and we had bad storms the first night of the cruise, and it was terrible, terrible water. And so many people were sick. There was like artists that couldn't even come down that next day to sing because they was laying in their room sick. But whatever, it's terrible. But Heather's bad. Heather can walk across the floor and get seasick. So me and Nick would hang out a lot together because he was on there by himself, and then Heather was feeling bad a lot of the time, and she did get better finally toward the end of the tour. But we'd go up, and we went up one night, and dude, we walked up there, and I the first time that I ever knew that he wanted to sit down and watch the Barbie movie. I'm like,
that one was so bad.
No, look, he's gonna watch this. I got to make that right. He's gonna watch it. We walked up there, we got our stuff, and we sat down, and it was on like a commercial break, and we were all comfortable in our lounge chairs up on the deck. The night air was great. We had our ginger ale and our popcorn just like we liked it. And it come back on, man, and it was Barbie, and he was like, "You've got to be kidding me, man."
Did y'all
we did
finish
not-
it?
Yes, interesting point. I think my brother just posted up here. My bass exploded in the middle of a concert. So, yes.
Yeah,
Good Lord.
Whoa.
Yeah, I was playing Hallelujah Chorus, and that song, is wide open. You know what you call it? It was in B. I weared it out, and all of a sudden, like, whoa, wow, I'm like, what in the world is going? And my bridge had vibrated so much that the bridge just collapsed, and it collapsed, and strings popped. They're in so much tension. The bridge and the feet that sit on the belly of the shot off, and like in the middle of the concert, and
holy moly!
I just held it. I was dumbstruck, and I just held it and finished singing my song. And bass has got the lead on that song, so I had to try to hold myself together. And so I held it, and after it was all said and done, like this little old lady that was on the front row, I seen her get out of her seat, and she was like, she walked up on stage, and she had one of the little feet in her hand. She said, here's a piece of your bass guitar that flew off. I'm like, thank you, sorry. And I just shot a piece of my bass guitar at her in the middle of the concert. It was almost as good as Miss Peg kicking her shoe off in the middle of the thing. I was shooting a piece of my bass fiddle at people in the front row, like, watch out, flying the object. But no, during intermission, we went backstage and tried to put that thing together, but we couldn't get it fixed back together, and we had to finish that show without a bass. And I don't remember what we did for the rest of the week. Some churches heard about it that we were going to, and they brought. There was a lady that brought a bass fiddle to the next concert. We was doing one for Dwayne Guerin, and brought it to the bass to the concert that I could play. And I noticed that the strings were really old and oily, and I was like, wow, this bass has got. She's like, yeah, my dad took that bass to an Inspiration concert in 1970 something, and Myron actually put those strings on for him. And
Wow.
that thing's been on there for 50 years.
Yeah.
But it was very interesting. Yeah, it shot them things. My bass just exploded mid concert. It was crazy.
According to inside sources, apparently you're also really good at ping pong. So,
oh wow!
that
So that is only a select few people that know that. That we did that just this last weekend. Somebody from the gang has told on me apparently.
It was definitely not Nick
Not
texting
Nick.
Evan.
Okay. We played a lot of it, and yeah, Nick couldn't hardly move the next morning after that. So we played a lot of ping pong while I was waiting for the concert to start on Saturday night. Yeah, I enjoy it. I'm fat and I can't move as fast as what I used to, but I do enjoy it.
Riley, you
So
got one more question, and then we'll turn the tables.
Oh,
I was racking my brain. I was like, I can go really silly with this, or I can go serious. I decided to go serious. If you could had one last song to sing, what would it be?
like sing a last song.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'd
Like
sing
you're gonna
Record-
die? No,
I'd sing. Oh wow, I would sing Record Book.
that's
think
really
it's,
good.
I think it's the most. I think it's probably my favorite song. Maybe outside of For What Earthly Reason.
That one is so good.
I love that song. I'm glad a lot of groups have started bringing that song back out.
Yes. So yeah, okay. So I would probably sing either. I know you need to narrow it down to one. That's really hard to do. For What Earthly Reason, it's got to be the top in Record Book because those songs have got such powerful content in them.
Mhm.
And the lyrics are incredibly anointed lyrics put together by them writers. So I don't know, but Dottie Rambo could just write a song anyways, period.
Yeah.
Mhm.
She could write a song just just as easy as me getting up and going to get a drink. I mean, she just write a song, you know. But she's powerfully, incredibly gifted songwriter, and those two songs have got pretty powerful meaning to them, for the sinner and for the believer. You know, such hope that's in them songs. But yeah, sorry I couldn't get it down past two, but those two kind of run neck and neck, Riley.
They're great.
Yeah.
Great.
All right, Cody, we're going to turn this thing on our heads. You've been asked a lot of questions tonight. And so we started this in episode 1. You can thank Trevor Conkle. This was not on the slate. He just asked if he could do it. So we're going to give you the opportunity to ask us questions. You can do it all in one big group or individually. It's up to you. The floor is yours. And we will bring Scott back in if he would like.
Oh yeah, let's do it. So here's the deal. All right, so I just do this. Oh, good to see you, Scott. So what has been the most? This is going to be a panel wide question. Okay, what has been the most instrumental thing that has really captivated your heart about the Southern gospel industry? If somebody has done something, you know, that has drawn you into this a little more, is an experience that you've had that has made you forever a lover of this music and this industry? What has been that thing that has pretty much thrown the anchor down and grabbed a hold of something that you're here for the long haul in this industry that really brought you into this music? Who's going first?
I guess I'll go first because I've said this a lot. I didn't really like the music. I would go because my family enjoyed it. And, you know, I was just kind of there. And yes, I was like 10, 11 years old. So I didn't have full maturity yet. And I remember going to Bill Bailey's Florence thing. And I always tell Bill that I thank him for putting that on. Because looking now, the groups that were there are the 4 groups that I look at today as like my 4 most influential. But the Perrys, this was before Tracy had his stroke. I remember I was going to get some popcorn, and you had to walk in front of the stage to get some popcorn. I remember Tracy just letting out the lowest, fattest, just beast note. And I remember looking up at him, and he's looking down at me, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this actually is kind of a cool thing. So I started getting more into it. Then I was saved, and that kind of influenced my heart as, oh, it's not just how cool can we sound, it's also how many people can we touch, who can we touch, how can we be an encouragement. So I credit 100% Tracy Stuffle as to why, kind of like you said, the anchor that just ripped me and put me into music was Tracy Stuffle. He was my biggest influence and still is today.
Oh yeah, outside of his impeccable chainsaw.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yes. Next.
I'll go next. And I mean, I've shared the story about how Scott Howard was just so kind to me during NQC 2020. So I won't tell that story, even though it would fit the answer to the question. But I can pull from actually NQC a couple weeks ago, because Scott mentioned it earlier. Gospel music is a family, and it was on full display the entire week as a whole. Because if you didn't go to NQC, then you may not realize this, but there was a lot of sickness and allergies and stuff going around this year that was like worse than I remember it ever being. And there were several artists that were just struggling throughout the week and had other artists helping them out, holding them up and getting them through the week. Yes. Like Karen Peck had laryngitis real bad. And I mean, I'm not speaking out of school because she said it from stage, but Kim Hopper helped her hit her high notes, off stage, and Karen thanked her from stage. But like Jonathan Wilburn came up and helped out Josh Feemster with Gold City because he was having some allergy stuff. And then like in my group situation, we had 2 members out. Our bass singer was out with kidney stones, still recovering from surgery. So Casey Armstrong from Poet Voices that used to sing with us helped us out. But then we get down there Monday and my tenor singer goes down with some sickness, and he couldn't sing at all, and we had to sing Tuesday night on main stage, and Michael
Yes.
Booth jumps in with not even a full day of preparation to learn song. He knew the lyrics to one song, just not the arrangement. The other one was completely new to him, but he jumped in, and I mean,
Knocked it
he's
out.
pulled it. People love him, and I mean, we got through it. But I don't know that with our situation and just stuff that other people were going throughout the week, in another genre, I don't know that it would have gone as smoothly, because it is a family, and we come alongside each other, we lift each other up, and we hold each other up. And that's what I tell people all the time. I'm still a fan. I just get to hold a microphone a whole lot more often than I used to. And that's the kind of thing that keeps me wanting to sing this, other than the fact that it's a calling. It's just that particular atmosphere. And you're even seeing that with the artists that have been directly impacted by the hurricane stuff that happened during NQC week. Some of them couldn't go home for a few days initially because they just couldn't get there. They come home to who knows what kind of destruction, and even some of the areas that they frequent have been impacted. But there's other artists that have opened their homes to them to let them hang out while things are getting figured out. There's artists that are helping other artists out that aren't able to fill their dates, and I know several. Just I see it on Facebook, and then I know some stories just privately that are going on. But it's the family of God in action. It's not just the fans, but the singers being the hands and feet of Jesus in a time of need, whether it's through a sickness situation or a natural disaster, and getting them through it. It's just really cool. I know that was a long-winded answer, but that's
it's what I hear all the time, and you're exactly right that this genre it's a big family, and off stage, it's just a big family. As people willing to help, people willing to pour into each other, support, jump in where they need to, and so I'm thankful for that. You're right. It's just a big family. You can call anytime, or you need something, whatever. So
absolutely.
So I'm going to go next. I think it's kind of changed over the years, my love for the music. And I started off, I'd go to concerts growing up. I loved the high singing, the low bass, everything. I'd love the harmonies. I didn't even understand all that, I didn't have an ear for that yet. And but as I gotten older, I've come to appreciate the people in singing the music, and the lyrics. You can have a good fast song, and that's a lot of fun, but you get into those meaty songs that get you through hard times and through trials and different things, and that you just don't understand when you're younger going to concerts. You don't understand the trials you're gonna face, and the valleys and different things. But as you get older, those lyrics mean so much more. Like, you start to appreciate those slower songs that you're like, oh, I can't wait for this song to be over. Now you look forward to hearing those songs,
right?
And the people encouraging us, and a lot of these artists that I've grown up hearing are now friends, and I can go up and have conversations with them, and they're happy to see me. I'm happy to see them, and gives me something to look forward to. And now we have the Ford family with all these different friends and different things, and so it's kind of evolved over the years, my love for the music. But that's kind of where I'm at right now, and I'm just thankful to be a part.
Yeah, I'm kind of along the same lines as Riley. I grew up listening to the music, and I guess I fell in love with it around 2015. We had quite a few deaths in our family, very closely, right back to back. And so for me, an outlet was going to these gospel concerts. At the time, none of these artists knew me personally. They didn't know what I was going through as a 15-year-old, losing all these family members. And they would just sing songs straight to my heart and say things to me at the table that, like Jason Krabs saying, "Thank you, Lord, for your blessings on me" one night, and he had never done that, well, to my knowledge. But little did he know that was a very meaningful song for me right then, because it was one of the songs that one of my family members had sang to me that I just recently lost. And that really, I guess that year pulled me in tight, because the Lord used so many people to minister to me when the world was really dark for me. And even just like last week at Mark Trammell's 50th celebration, I was going through some things, and he gets up there and sings "To Jesus Care," and I'm sitting here with tears streaming down my face, and he had no idea. He had absolutely no idea, but God knew, and he was willing to move with the Spirit and follow God's direction. And that's what I'm thankful for, is that, a lot of times it's not scripted, and they allow God to speak to the hearts of those they sing to. And that's why I keep going back to it.
Right. It's very important.
I guess I'll be the caboose. What hooked me as a kid was the flash, I can't remember which one said about that. I think Riley said the highs and the lows, the high tenors and the low basses, and grew up with the Cathedrals era and the Gold City era, and some of those when they really was popping in the 80s, and that was kind of what hooked me. What really got me fascinated with the people in the beginning was some like Tim Riley. He comes to mind. Rex Nealon comes to mind. Peg McCamey comes to mind. Some that when I would be at their concerts, they took time and they showed the care and the love to a kid, a shy, troubled kid coming by the table, and actually spending the time. Kid that wasn't buying any product. It wasn't because of that. It wasn't because of the sale. It was because of the heart, and they cared and poured into me.
Right.
And then I think Evan said, the change when you get when you get saved and your heart gets right and you start listening to the lyrics and what's being sung. I remember, I think the first song that really kind of started resonating with me there was "The Greatest of All Miracles," Gold City back in the day. That was one of the first songs that comes to mind that really just resonated as a kid, and growing up, and just that connection grew. I'm really big. I'm not big in worship wars and fighting over styles of music, but I just really feel strongly that the genre of Southern gospel music has a lot of lyrically strong, doctrinally sound, scripturally sound songs that speaks into the heart of the believer, and that convicts the heart of the unbeliever when it's presented.
Right.
And Avery said that this about this past week, and the songs ministering to us. Does Jesus Care was one that was a huge standout to me. Scott Howie came back on the stage and sung "That's What Grace Is For," and that's a huge song to me that speaks to me. And it ministered to me, and I needed it this past week. So all that, and then fast forward now, watching young people. I love watching the young people at NQC, and now I'm seeing the artists of today, older and younger, pour into the young people and love on them. And I just love the family. I really truly love the family. A family that's accepted this guy who has not a lot to offer. I've just been a fan and then a behind the scenes guy for years, but I just love the family aspect of Southern gospel. It's huge. It's unmatched. I just don't know any place else musically that you find that.
And can I throw in this too? Because I really didn't say this in my answer, because I was more worried about the music side of it, not so much the family side of it. This past week at NQC, there were multiple artists, from different groups, different people that hadn't even been on the same lineups before, that would just text me, "Hey, you want to go get some breakfast this morning?" People threw forward. Kyle Goodson, me and him woke up at 7 a.m. Yeah, Cody, we went to a cookout at like midnight. Kyle Goodson woke me up. "Hey, let's go get some breakfast." Me and Brady heck, I could call him and be like, "Hey, what are you doing?" He's like, "Hey, I don't know. You want to go do something?" Just at NQC, when this should be a time for the artist to kind of vacation and to kind of spend time off, we're the same artists that still didn't treat you like they treated you just like you were a person. And I love that about this genre. You can't go to another concert and have the artist, you can't go to a festival and the artist be like, hey, let's go hang out, and so that's what I also wanted to throw that in, that at NQC, they were very, very gracious to me and treating me like, and you're one of those, Cody. You just treated me like a brother. And from the day I met you, you've treated me like a brother. And I love that about our genre.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. And yeah, Brother Richie works. I agree with you. And boy, it's a pleasure being able to hang out with Brother Richie through this past week.
Brother
We
Richie.
got to stick together in this, and it's just it's awesome being part of the family. Brother Cody, we have kept you. We're an hour and 45 minutes in this, and we'll try to get to a finish line. We get carried away when we get going. I hope you've enjoyed your time with it.
I have enjoyed it very much. It's been a lot of fun.
Brother Jason, well, I'm going to say a couple of things, but if you see any just absolute pertinent comments that we need to throw up, you might kind of think along those lines. But I tell you what, you look at comments and I'll handle this part. I do want to give time. We appreciate Cody and giving his time to us. And we appreciate the Chuck Wagon Gang so much. They are a blessing to us and encouragers of Southern Gospel Forward. And so want to talk a little bit. There's a picture of the current lineup.
Is that at Lawrenceburg?
I'm not sure where this picture.
Yeah, that's the Crockett Theater in Lawrenceburg. I know
that's a killer photo right there.
That's
really
yeah.
Round of the Crockett.
But if you go to the chuckwagongang.net, the chuckwagongang.net, then you can find their website. You can find their tour schedule, their music that you can purchase and support them in. But I'd like to give you a moment, Cody. Is there anything specific you would like to promote or talk about when you're thinking about the Chucks?
Well, this would have been the time that I would have normally promoted or said something about the upcoming homecoming in Asheville.
Oh, yeah.
As of yesterday, we had to officially call that off.
Right.
The Chucks are planning on doing some kind of outreach, some kind of a work of support for those people in a lot of those affected areas. And heavily affected area is the home of one of our own, Josh Garner's homeland, and they're still dealing with things there. So be in prayer for them. But if anybody would like to support the effort, the Chuck Wagon Gang will be doing something in the place of the homecoming to support the area that we were going to originally have it there at Trinity Baptist in Asheville. And our heart goes out to those folks. We're praying for all those affected, praying for those that looks like it's going to be affected by old Milton coming on here in the next few days. And it's just a time when the church I'm so proud of the church, just the church body as a whole that has pulled together during these last few days and the last week, and the church is strong. And so if you want to support and get with the gang in any way, get with Josh or send us a message. We will be sending some kind of relief, some kind of help, or doing something in the place of what was originally going to be the homecoming to try to fix to fix the to do something to support in that so
Absolutely.
So we got the cruise coming up in January, and that's going to be a lot of fun. And just thank you for supporting the Chuck Wagon Gang. I think the Chuck Wagon Gang is more alive and on fire as it has ever been. And
absolutely.
We are excited. God has opened up some big doors for us. We just got finished with the Gaither taping. We just got finished with, singing on the Grand Ole Opry.
Which was epic to witness.
Yes, it was.
Awesome.
You talking about a very surreal moment standing in that circle,
It was surreal standing in the wings, and I want to publicly thank Shay for that opportunity, because that was amazing.
Well,
And I want to publicly ask Shay the next time it happens. Because I know more about country music than this fool does. So
I see that the roadie is a little bitter with the fill in,
all these speakers that I lugged, and what do I do?
Wow.
But the Chuck Wagon Gang, thank you for supporting the gang. And without it, I wouldn't be able to be a part of what I'm doing right now. And just really excited about everything. And, that's I can't hardly say anything else other than that. I mean, I'm just extremely excited to be a part of what we're doing, and thank you for loving the gang and supporting it. 90 years, and the love of fans and love of the people is what's got us to the 90-year point. And something that's really crazy that I was going to show y'all. So in those years at Bryson City, 1 year the Florida Boys was there, and they sang at Bryson City. And so all those years, God knew all of this all those years ago. And I walked up to the table and got the signature of a young dude.
Yes.
That is so awesome.
Grinning Josh.
As with all the other guys, Les and Daryl and Glenn and Gene and Alan. But I met this guy all those years ago, didn't even know about it. And then fast forward to present day, and I'm on stage with him signing autographs on the same picture as him all these years later.
That is so awesome.
Fantastic.
That's just kind of the full circle. It's called, they call it the American Dream, but I call it the Southern Gospel Dream. And the aspiring young artist that thinks, boy, I'd really like to do that, but I don't think I'll ever have the opportunity. I had a nickel for every time that I thought that this opportunity would never come my way, then I'd have a lot of money. But you know what? It does, and it can. Just stay faithful and persevere, work hard, and do your thing, and the doors can open for you. Just like, trust me, if they open for me, they'll open for anybody else. I'm gonna tell you.
Absolutely. That's good stuff now, brother. Appreciate you sharing that. And yes, we love the Chuck Wagon Gang, and so thankful for you guys. Anything anybody want to shoot out here on the comments before we go? We got Jake Cohen. Oh, check this out. Shaneyfelt family showed me and jump started my love for Southern gospel music, Cody. And all the gang, yeah, I tell you what, thank you for sharing that, and we appreciate you, and I know the Shaneyfelts do as well. Robert Bradford says Cody's as genuine as anybody's ever met, and I agree. He's a fine young man. I enjoy spending time with him. Brandon Berry, keep doing what you're doing, praying for y'all.
Great bass.
Absolutely. So, so yeah, that's appreciate all the people. I know we didn't get to all comments, but we tried. But thank y'all for supporting and joining, and that means the world to us. We'll have an announcement in just a second when we bring this to a close. We are going to announce our next episode because it's kind of a nice little here we go announcement that we've got.
Cody Shaneyfelt, Part 2.
Yes.
Episode 2, Season 2, Part 2.
But I do want to go back to what Cody was speaking about North Carolina and some parts of Tennessee and in Georgia and those areas that were so devastated by the weather. And, it's been a blessing to watch what's going on. A lot of times we get fed and conditioned to be taken care of by things like state, local, national governments and stuff like that. But when things like this comes into play, you find out that the church and God's people are the ones, and you see the boots on the ground and all the work that's going on. I encourage y'all. Everybody, I know we're all different financial walks of life, but everybody in the sound of my voice and watching this is able to do something. Whether it's buy a case of waters, whether it's a $5 donation somewhere. But I encourage y'all to keep being the church and to help these folks. The devastation in some of these areas is not going to be fixed next week or next month and not next year. I saw some reports on some major road systems that may be years in the reparation. So we need to support and pray for these, lift up. We need to pray for them, but also we need to act and be the church. So I just encourage y'all to look for ways and watch for the Chuck Wagon Gang, what they do, what they sponsor, and let's jump on board and sponsor this area.
The Kingsmen right now have a link for
a GoFundMe.
For a GoFundMe for Ray and Brandon and all the Reese families area. So if y'all want to go on their page and donate, that's a great place to do it there. And I'm sure when the Chuck Wagon Gang get theirs going up for relief, y'all go and donate to that one as well. So
pray for Florida because they're about to get hit.
Absolutely.
A lot of our Southern Gospel family and distant family down there in the path of that.
Bill Bailey's right south of Tampa, and
he's in the line of fire.
Church family and all of those people down there. Miss Nina that watches all the time. She's down there. Our friend Leah. I mean, there's so many that we know down in that area. Pray for them.
Absolutely. Well, I would never normally do this. I don't think I've ever done this with any of our guests, but Brother Cody told off on himself about his ministry and pastorship. Brother Cody, would you mind, with everything that we've just talked about, maybe lifting a word of prayer for us all, for everybody that has been affected, and just maybe pray over this and pray for God to move in these times?
Absolutely. Heavenly Father, we thank you for the opportunity to be able to fellowship today with a lot of our friends. A lot of them have joined us comments and watching. We thank you, Lord, for this family. We thank you for salvation that has allowed us to be a part of the greatest family of all, and that's the family of God. And we thank you for the sacrifice that you made for us so that we could have the wonderful hope that we have in our hearts and absolute peace that we have in our souls tonight. We ask you, God, that you would watch over those that are suffering from the storms, those that are in the path of the one coming now, those that have lost so much and are dealing with so much right now. We pray, Lord, that you would just be a little extra close to them tonight and help them in their lives and in their needs. I pray for my friends here, all of those that are part of Southern Gospel Forward. Thank you for their ministry. I pray, Lord, that you would continue to bless it and use it to reach and to encourage, to strengthen and to uplift people. I pray, Lord, that we stand on a lot of stages and we go to a lot of places. I pray, Lord, that when they look at us from the crowd or they walk up to the product table or meet us wherever we are, I pray, Lord, that they would look past us and they would see you, because that's the one that they need to be looking to. And I pray that we could give them as much of you as we possibly could. Anoint us and use us in every part of our lives, and that we may bring you honor and glory and lead somebody to heaven. And I pray, God, that your blessings would be upon us. Thank you for everything that you've done in our lives and continue to do. We ask it all in Jesus' name, and we give you the most honor and glory as we can. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, brother, so much for leading us. Gosh, I'd be remiss if I didn't do this, but I want to bring y'all smile in there. I'm going to bring our brothers. We hadn't got Jason and Dawson in the pictures yet. Our producers, thank y'all for what you did tonight. Anything else from the panel you want to ask or say to Cody before we do the reveal?
We just appreciate you, Cody. You've been a very close friend of ours for a while now. So
you've helped me. You don't know it, but you've helped me out in my life by little things that you've said. That time when Avery was in Florida, I was going through a really bad time in my life. And I don't think you and Nick and Josh and all those guys and the ladies. Melissa is like the cool aunt that I've never had type deal. Like I do, but she's the extra cool aunt. You know what I'm saying? That's what I mean. So, but like y'all, I can't talk anymore. You know what I mean? I love you, Cody. Whatever.
Thank you, buddy. Love you, buddy.
No, I didn't ditch them. They're just, whatever, surrogate aunt, whatever they're called.
The thing is that we have learned over the year and getting close to half of Southern Gospel Forward is if Brother Evan has a career, a future, as being a future White House spokesperson, because he would fit right in with what we've got. Anyway, all right, I think you could do a good job. So
now's the time for the Bill Clinton impression.
Jeff's in the house.
Hey, Brother Jeff, good to see you. Thanks for jumping on here, my brother. So, hey, how about we do the machine? Yes, how about we do the reveal? Y'all good with that?
Yes.
So, usually we skip a week or two, something like that, between episodes. This time we're going to be very fast and furious. You'll see an event come out probably tonight before I go to bed, to help y'all go ahead and get it on your calendars. But we are going to be back on the air next Monday night, 7 p.m. Central Time, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. That is the 14th of October, to welcome the guest for episode 3, who happens to be
Big flash.
lost it.
There we
There
go.
it is. Brooklyn
got so
Collingsworth, Blair of the Collingsworth family. So y'all mark your
Hooray.
calendars
Right.
and gear up and join us for that. And now she's got what, 4 children now, so I don't know if we'll have a 2-hour show on that one. It's probably going to be a little bit more concise. But hey, y'all please mark your calendars and join us and share. And let's get ready.
2 weeks. If you come in 2 weeks, you'll miss it.
Yeah, no, yeah. So when you here's the deal: when y'all see those events show up on your Facebook on the SBM Studios, if you like us, you'll see that everything we do, including the awesome vlogs that Riley and Evan and Avery put together, that's on there too. That's all broadcast on the SBM Studios. There's content coming from NQC.
Yes.
It might not be a full
Tease.
2-hour movie, like I said, because
Yeah, anyway,
Yeah.
but that's coming. But if y'all will like the SBM Studios Facebook page and subscribe to the YouTube, you'll see the events pop up. And then, like, when you see the event on Facebook, you can say going or interested, and then that's going to remind you that, hey, I need to jump on when that thing comes up.
And share it
So,
and invite people so they know about it too. 'Cause
Yeah.
sharing is free. Sharing is completely free.
Sharing is caring, no matter what you're wearing. Always remember that yes, just share. And love seeing these Southern Gospel Forward T-shirts and on Jason and Riley's got on. I'm seeing him hold that up. Thanks for representing. But we have just crossed the 2-hour mark, and I know that there is a Hot Wheels game that's in the future.
Oh, there's no telling. It can probably be Monster Truck or Paw Patrol or Hot Wheels or something. We'll see.
We hope we didn't keep you too long from your family. We love you, Cody. We love you with all our hearts. We appreciate you. Appreciate your friendship, and
Love y'all.
can't wait to see you again down the road. But I guess unless y'all have something else to say, it's about time to gather the wagons in a circle and put up the defenses and get on out of here, boys. So until next time,
do the Singletary!
thank y'all.
Shame on the devil.